Proximity alert.
What is it?
You are being hailed.
And you need a serious upgrade, you worthless ass. Hello.
You have crossed the neutral zone and are entering into the great Romulan star empire. As this is a breach of treaty, we shall now be forced to incinerate your vessel and make war on the Federation for the brash incursion. Have a nice day.
Wait. Do I look like Starfleet?
Yes.
Okay, fair, but I'm not. I'm just an idiot that stole a car. Now I'm lost in space and trying to go one episode without getting blown up or arrested.
That's exactly what a Starfleet spy would say.
Let me prove it. I'll go raid a Federation supply ship and bring you back 10% of the cut.
100%.
50.
100.
100 sounds fair. I'm just gonna back out slowly and go find some cargo to steal.
You will stay alongside the neutral zone in range of our monitors.
Of course I am. And while we head out there to look for some ships, I guess there's nothing better to do than watch the next mission, so I present to no one justice.
We start with Picard dropping his log. This time, the crew have some time to kill and found a Class M planet, whatever that means, in the Rubicon star system, with people there very similar to humans. It's also apparently unusually lovely, and Riker was sent down with the team to make contact. Riker comes in cheesing, ear to ear. He says it's as per report. Class M. Earth-like. Oh, okay, I get it. Beautiful. Blah, blah. The doctor wants shore leave. In fact, everyone does. Yar says she's studied their laws, and it's fairly basic and common sense. Geordi says they are advanced, but laid back and hedonistic. In fact, they are downright slutty, sexually engaged at any moment and for the slightest of reasons. Riker says he can find nothing wrong with the place, but something is wrong. Data is getting an anomalous reading off their starboard bow, but nothing seems to be there. Picard decides to send one more small party before approving shore leave, this time with Wesley to evaluate the place for the other children. The crew are sent to Rubicon III to meet with the Edo people. The Edo are a people populated by supermodels and bodybuilders that literally run everywhere. They barely wear any clothes and fornicate openly. They even greet strangers as sensually as possible. Riker asks how many crew they can bring down at once, and the Edo say, as many as you like. Let's fuck. Unless you aren't into that. For real, they are actively trying to get the away party into an orgy. Wesley feels awkward, and the Edo decide to go to the council chambers where the other young people are. They run there, and Wesley is introduced to the Edo children, who are definitely 30 and hairy. Inside, we're treated to Edo culture through music, architecture, dance, and decor. You get a sense that they are loosely based on ancient Greek, ancient Roman, and 1930s Germanic cultures. The crew's arrival is announced to the chambers, and bro, that's some serious camel toe. He says enjoy what we have, but you don't have much, my dude. I'm looking right at you. Everyone gets carted off for lovin's, and we cut back to the bridge of the ship. Data says the reading off the bow is no glitch, and something is both there and not there, as if an interdimensional shadow. Data sends an open hail demanding the ship identify itself, and it appears at half opacity, as if partially decloaking, or only partially in this reality. Red alert sounds, and we dramatically pan in on Picard as the music stings. Data says he received an unintelligible hell that he's running through translating algorithms. When finished, it translates to stand by. Geordi says his visor's spectral analysis shows the ship isn't really there. Something comes out of the ship. A bowling ball-sized orb of energy phases through the ship's hull and traverses to the bridge. It floats in front of Picard and says, "State the purpose," with each word booming the crew's ears and shaking the entire ship's superstructure. The orb demands to know why they're there and keeps rattling the ship. Picard says, "We just sent down some people to chill. What's the issue?" The orb doesn't want them to try to colonize and essentially tells the crew to leave the Edo alone. It then attaches itself to Data's head, and Data falls to the floor unconscious. Back on the planet, the kids go to the garden to find a stick, so Wes can teach them baseball. Riker has discovered that they lost contact with their ship, and he takes Troy to find Wesley. Meanwhile, Yar and Worf learn there's no crime. They do have mediators as a police force that enforce death as punishment for breaking any law. So, no one commits a crime. Before I go on, I want to point out that capital punishment has not been shown as a deterrent to crime in the real world, and it's honestly barbaric as most civilized nations have banned the practice. Only evil nations kill their citizens, like Russia, North Korea, China, the USA. You get the point. Even Worf is appalled by this, and he's a violent warrior. When Yar realizes they'll kill you for not keeping off the grass, they get understandably nervous. But Yar, the security genius she is, was the one who checked out their basic laws and hand-waved them as common sense. Yar sucks at her job. Elsewhere, Wesley is playing ball with the kids and goes deep for a bomb. He crashes into a small greenhouse for new plants behind a white marker, and the other kids seem worried. Wesley is confused as he's fine, and it seems no big deal, but the mediators run up saying how sad it is that he must die now. The crew catches up to Wesley, but it's too late, and the mediators pull out a syringe. One moves for the boy. Riker takes him down, and Worf and Yar draw phasers on them. The mediators are appalled and said if this zone was still active, they'd all deserve death. Riker still can't contact the ship, which has its own problems, as Data is stuck in a comatose-like exchange of information with the orb, which finishes and vanishes, restoring communications. Riker lets Picard know they have a problem, and Picard says he's coming down.
Proximity alert.
Let me see. Yeah, that'll do. Hello, I just crippled your engines, and I'm gonna need what y'all got, so give me the loot.
We surrender. We'll place a crate of gold-pressed latinum in our cargo bay for you to beam to your ship.
Well, okay, run that shit. That was easy. Beam that over. Now back to those Romulan fuckheads. Where was I?
Picard meets with the Edo at the council chambers, and they say the boy is being held pending this hearing. When asked about Federation law, Picard says they've outlawed capital punishment. The Edo tell them to use their advanced tech to save the boy from this barbaric species. Worded as a passive-aggressive jibe. The Edo say the half-tangible ship in the sky is their god, and Dr. Crusher hits up Picard to tell him Data's awake and has something important to say. Picard and Troy beam up, but they take an Edo woman with them. On the ship, the trio run into Dr. Crusher, who's crushed her son is about to die. The space god is angry that Edo is on the ship and goes toward the Enterprise. Picard puts his comm badge on the woman and has her emergency beam to the planet. In sickbay, Data reveals the vessel has more than one life aboard, and they know they are worshipped as a god figure. The ship can occupy multiple places in space at once, and they have kind of staked claim to this star cluster. Picard finally yells at Data for babbling, ordering him to organize his thoughts better. Thank God. Picard weighs his options. He is bound by foreign laws and his own prime directive, which apparently won't let him interfere with less advanced societies or something. The Edo are the children to the multidimensional beings. Everyone is just trying to do right by theirs, but someone has to lose. Picard and the Doctor beam down to the Edo chambers. The Edo beg for their laws to be upheld. Picard says he must protect his people from harm. The Edo protest once more, and Yar says, "Go fuck yourselves." They go to energize, and nothing happens. Picard shouts to the heavens that there can be no justice if dealt in absolutes. Riker posits that justice is never as simple as a rulebook, and then they beam away. Back on the bridge, Picard says he'll move the colonists out of their territory, and they beat it. I wanted to like this episode. Writing-wise, there are a lot of interesting themes swirled around each other here, but it's really frustrating that it's bound to an annoying kid and trampled flowers. Real time. Justice, originally aired on November 9th, 1987, aimed to explore themes of morality, justice, and cultural differences, but it has been widely criticized for its handling of these themes and its execution. The initial concept revolved around the crew visiting a seemingly perfect planet where laws were strictly enforced. The idea was to showcase the juxtaposition between the Federation's ideals and the cultural norms of another society. However, due to time constraints and other production challenges, the script's depth and nuances were compromised. The initial themes and complexities didn't translate well into the final script, resulting in a somewhat shallow representation of the issues at hand. The constraints of budget and time further impacted the ability to create a convincing alien world with depth. Additionally, the location chosen for filming the planet's surface was a public park, which presented difficulties in terms of controlling the environment and creating a truly alien landscape. This limitation resulted in the infamous appearance of a random jogger in the background of one scene, inadvertently breaking the immersion. The characters' decisions and actions have been criticized for being inconsistent with their established personalities. For example, Captain Picard's decision to violate the Prime Directive by rescuing Wesley Crusher without facing any consequences felt out of character for a captain who typically upheld Starfleet's principles at all costs. This inconsistency was partly due to the challenges of writing for a diverse ensemble cast without much a great amount of development early in the series. The episode received mixed reviews from both fans and critics. The attempt to explore important themes was acknowledged, but so was its failure in execution and overall lack of depth. The trivialization of complex issues and introduction of elements such as the Ito's fascination with Wesley's hair contributed to the perceived lack of seriousness. Justice remains a notable episode in the series, not for its success in exploring complex themes, but for the lessons learned from its shortcomings. The episode's legacy is a reminder that even in a beloved and enduring series, not every installment will hit the mark, but such missteps can contribute to the growth and improvement of the show as a whole.
Here we are. Hey, Angry Elf. I got your shit. A crate of gold pressed latinum that I'm going to beam over to your cargo bay.
Excellent. Have someone check the crate. Make sure this human isn't lying to us.
Holy shit. There was a bomb in that crate. Those motherfuckers tried to kill me. Oh, we definitely going back.